So thank you very much for joining us for another meeting of getting to know EAWANET community. Today we have a great pleasure to introduce to you Kugusa Moyo International and Tony, the head leader of the organization. My name is Eldad Barber. I'm the founder of Triple Profit, international organization focusing on bridging between communities, empower team leaders, and building a new project in Africa and Israel. This talk comes to you by the collaboration between Triple Profit and EAWANET. And of course, Stella with us from EAWANET. Stella, if you please introduce EAWANET for the viewers.
Yes, I do. With us, my name is Stella Akiteng. I'm the coordinator for Eastern Africa Work Camps Association Network. That's EAWANET in short. Basically, what EAWANET works towards is promoting volunteer work and then peace building in Eastern Africa. We also collaborate. We also work in solidarity with other regional networks that work towards people-centered and people-driven development processes. We need to see people in Eastern Africa that have mutual cooperation and solidarity in their efforts to bring about positive transformation in the region. And one of the ways we do that is, one, we encourage collaboration, information sharing of skills, ideas in the region, as information and human resource within EAWANET, which is a membership organization, but also we work in collaboration with different institutions in different, irrespective of our geographical context, because we've been. So one of the other activities that we work towards deliberating is promoting exchanges. A lot has been going on with North to South exchange, especially youth exchange, but we also need to see more of South to South exchanges. And then also, North to North exchanges. So basically, we want to see that the civic voice of the people of East Africa is strengthened to bring about positive, sustainable development. And in Eastern Africa, we are targeting countries as, there's Uganda, there's Kenya, there's Tanzania, there's South Sudan. We also need to see engagement with Ethiopia, Eritrea, Somalia, Djibouti in bringing them on board as membership organizations. Yeah, and we are happy to see Kugusa, Moyo International, one of the EAWANET members, based in Uganda with us today. And it will be great hearing what they have to share with us. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Stella. Thank you very much. Tony?
Thank you so much, Eldad. And thank you so much, Stella. It is a pleasure to be in such a big network and connecting people with the same idea, with the same passion, with the same zeal, pushing for the same things that we are pushing. I am very grateful and I am happy to be in this meeting today. I'm called Tony Zephania Ivale. I am the mission coordinator for Kugusa Moyo and the founder. Kugusa Moyo, it is a Kiswahili word that basically means to touch the heart. So being students of Makerere University by then, we saw people around us suffering, like in Katanga and other slums. So we started as students to mobilize within ourselves, get clothes, get some food, and we started reaching some people around the communities. That is in Malaba, that is in Iganga, and several parts. So we would reach them, identify what are the challenges they are facing, identify how we could help them. So something that started as something that we would do for them when we were students started to grow, became bigger. The impact started to be felt in the society. Why? because we are identified a problem or a challenge, and we are coming in as a solution. What does Kugusa mean? And what does Kugusa stand for? And I'll also be answering the other question is that you had been given how we measure the impact for Kugusa Moyo, and then I'll respond to the other question. With all the challenges right now, how do we do it? So allow me
Tony, before,
yes.
please, if I may interrupt you, let's refer to those questions later on. We have enough time on our hands. Maybe you start by telling us a bit about Kugusa work in the field, what exactly Kugusa Moyo is doing, and then we refer to the other questions later on.
That is exactly that I'm going to respond to. In Africa or in Uganda, we've identified 2 or 3 challenges as Kugusa. The first challenge, we've made research and we've worked closely with some UPE or Universal Primary School Educationists, and we've been seeing the challenges that they are facing. When you go to Universal Primary School Education, you will see pupils who come to school and barely they have not eaten for even a meal a night. So these pupils will go on an empty stomach. Their concentration in class will be 0. Their performance in school will almost be 0. And the same children or the same pupils come to school basically without even basic needs like books, like pens. They totally have nothing. If someone cannot even afford to buy a book, you cannot ask me that they can afford even to get a uniform or even come with a proper shoe to school. And that is not only the challenge of an African child, the same children or the same pupils are faced with a lot of gender-based violence. So they are facing violence at home, they are facing violence at school, maybe they are having bullying from the pupils, maybe from teachers, even the community. So as Kugusa Moyo, we had to come in and cap this gap. How? This is how we started. We started with one school in Iganga called Busei Primary School. So we would go, what we would do basically, call parents, call teachers, call pupils, sit together, tell them about all the evils about gender violence and everything. Tell them how they can solve them and tell them how we can work in hand to see that we have a safe community, a better community for the children. We didn't start with money, we didn't start with anything. We started with the passion and the zeal that we wanted to reach communities. So we would mobilize amongst us the community of students or the community of the people I knew, and we would go to a certain school, write them formal letters, and request them that this is what we want to do. So every time we reach to these schools, we would involve the community in this. We would tell them how to handle all these challenges and how to support the education of a child. And for the short time, we would share things like books, we would share things like pens, we would share things like pencils, what we would afford. And the impact, as I'll discuss down, was so great. So the other thing that we came up with is that we realized that in case every pupil had a hen or a cock, these same things would lay eggs. So if this person is in position to sell these things, they would help on school fees and some simple scholastic materials. So that is one of the other things that we've been working on. And then the other last thing that we work on is the women's side. We are looking at empowering mothers because we realize when you empower mothers, one thing, you reduce gender violence at home. Another thing, you empower indirectly the pupils from their homes. Why? There is no African mother who will have money and keep it, and the child has no book. So if we come up and empower mothers through small-scale trading, through small-scale farming, they are in a position to have enough food for homes and even sell off another food to the market to handle some few basic needs. So that is what we have been doing. And apart from that, apart from taking on empowerment programs for women, we always go with some stuff like mama kits. The reason is why we take mama kits, because most of the women in the villages barely even access mama kits when they are giving birth. So this would reduce on the issues of infections. So instead of a mother being bedridden for a long time because of infection, we would support through that small token, and they are able to work for their families. They are able to contribute. And if you look at Uganda, women contribute a lot of the percentage in the families, a lot of percentage on the well-being of the family. So whatever hits a woman in Uganda hits the whole family. A man is in position to go in a center and maybe buy a chapati, maybe a Rolex, and come back in the evening when he's happy. But there is no mother who will hide from the children when they are hungry. So when we empower mothers, when we want to see mothers happy and okay, we do whatever things that we do to see them doing what, pushing. And then the other thing is the sanitary towels. You realize they cannot even access sanitary towels. So if someone is not comfortable during times of periods or times of menstruation, they are not going to concentrate even on the little small businesses that they are doing. Even the pupils, you will realize that even these days, you shall find pupils menstruating from even P5, even P4 in Uganda. So we wanted to reduce the effect of bullying. We wanted to reduce all these challenges. So we would come in, sensitize them, speak to them, empower them, tell them very many positive things. And I've been seeing our communities that we reach change with the little that we can do. We only have to go to communities. We only have to mobilize the communities. We only have to tell them what we are doing, what we are pursuing. And let me tell you something, every time the community see what you're doing, they will support you. They will just come up. Someone may not have money, but will have a good idea. Someone may not have a good idea, but they have something, a way of how you can do it. So that is Kugusa Moyo.
So inspiring, Tony. Thank you so much. It's a great introduction, and it's so inspiring what you're doing. We have some videos. Some pictures. Maybe we can share them on the screen, and you can walk us through what we'll see. Okay. For example, can you tell us what we see here in those pictures?
This first picture. Mm-hmm. The person you see there is me, mm-hmm. And behind us are the pupils that we are reaching in the community. We are empowering them. We are really passionate to see that their lives change. These are pupils of Busei Primary School, which is in the Iganga district. And the other thing I forgot to tell you is we are working in 5 centers. We are working in Iganga, we are working in Kamuli, we are working in Nakaseke, we are working in Kampala, we are working in Gulu, and we are working in Namutumba. Those are areas that we are reaching. And in the background, you will see an activity going on for women, for mothers. You realize that every time we have come up and empowered, this is Namutumba, Bugobi. You realize that every time we come up and empower mothers, even when you tell them a small inspirational word, it keeps them moving. And it can surprise you that they may not even expect a lot from us. But they just want people who can identify with them, stand with them, and appreciate them and be with them. You get it? Yeah. Most of the organizations, or most of other people think that to have such an organization and you're reaching the ground, you have to have a lot of money, you have to have a lot of connection. No. We do not have a lot of money. We do not have a lot of connection. We don't have someone who is funding us, that this person has funded us. But we are utilizing the resources that we have, our source, to make sure that we are reaching communities. In Kugusa, we have a saying that says, Africans can reach Africans. Ugandans can reach Ugandans. We should not be there and we are waiting for one specialized Muzungu to come and help us. No. By the time they come, our communities will be decaying. If the Muzungu comes, praise the Lord, we are waiting for one to come. But we are keeping on to move. We are not going to wait for one person to come. No, we shall keep on to move. If they come, they will find us. If they don't come, we shall keep moving. Because we have a passion to see our people change. We have a passion to see our communities change. We have a passion to see that we are doing something every time we reach the communities.
That's very important what you're saying. I totally agree with every word that you're saying. We have a few more pictures here.
Yes.
What do we see
Then,
here?
the guys, the young guys that you see down here, they are the volunteers that we get. We get volunteers from universities, tell them what we want to do, tell them the passion we have, tell them that we have nothing, but we really love to do what? To support communities. So we go to communities. So those are the young volunteers that you see. We don't pay them. We are not giving them anything, but they see the passion and the zeal that we have.
We have another set of pictures here. Maybe you would like to share what do we see here? It's pupils, right? Those young kids in school.
These are pupils. So we realized, as I was discussing, that mostly, basically, I've ever made a research in a certain law school in Kamuli. You realize that pupils will come to school late, around 9 a.m., and they will disappear around 11. The reason as to why they disappear, one, they don't have scholastic materials. Two, they do not even have lunch or eat, even supper, even go hungry for 2 days. When you look at Africa, it is a polygamous set of families. And most of these learners come from families with co-wives, with stepmothers. They are highly mistreated. They don't even have food. So you realize that this violence psychologically tortures these young people. So when someone comes at school, they don't even have a book or a pen. It is a mindset in the locals that because the government has put UPE schools, so they shall eventually give everyone books or pens, which is not there. So you realize that these people run away during break time and disappear to go and look for mangoes. So you cannot tell me a person who studies a half and they are not concentrated, that they will do anything. That is why you see a lot of variation in the performance of rural schools in Uganda or in Africa and urban schools, whereby someone in urban school is taken to school. The parents may not have a car, but they will hire a boda to take that person to school. They have lunch boxes. They have gone with lunch. They have all good, best scholastic materials, maybe books, maybe textbooks. So you cannot expect a person who is sitting in the school or in class 24 hours to perform like the person who even doesn't know what they want, who even have no inspiration of where they are going. They are completely blind. They don't know what they want. They don't know where they are going. It is not because of them, but the culture, the society that has been very hostile towards them. So you realize that such pupils need people that come and empower them. So we get university students from all over Kampala and Uganda and go with them. They speak to the pupils. We get people that have come from poor families. Ourselves are backgrounds of poor family. I'm not ashamed to say I have come from a poor family. You get it? But then, because I was living such a life, I do not want any Ugandan child to live such a life. Unfortunate that most of the donations come to the big organization, which big organizations are not doing anything. They will be in Kampala, cruise big cars, go in offices, have tea, and call it a day. Yet the organizations, the community-based organizations that are down here working, they cannot even access donation. But then, I don't think I can be limited because of a donation. No, I cannot be limited because of a donation. I keep on pushing. So long as I am in position to have a program, I have a project, I keep pushing. I utilize the data that I have.
That's so impressive, Tony. It's a great job that you're doing, and I know because I've been talking to you in the past, and I know that you, against all challenges, you are able to really create an impact in the field. Tell us, maybe the viewers would like to know how are you able to measure your impact, and you also mentioned also the lack of finance and the challenges in the field, and with all those considering, how can you know if the impact that you're creating is eventually the impact that you're trying to achieve? How can you measure?
I cannot say that we have a very sophisticated or improved way of we are measuring, but this is what we do. In every community, in every school, we have contact teachers. So we are always making calls, we are always going there on the ground, we are checking on the pupils, on their progress, we are finding out how they are doing, you get it. We also go to their communities, check if we had maybe suggested this, if we had given this, are they using it in the right way? What is the progress? Is there some impact? And you realize that almost all the pupils that we've reached, they have been performing better. Their performance improve in school. When we reach their stepmothers or when we reach their people and speak to them, we've already talked to so many fathers and tell them you need to help this student here. And if we fail, we shall suggest to the headmaster or the head teacher to call the parents and speak to the parents. So you realize that all these measures have helped to improve. And then the other thing is, how do we measure our progress? We've seen women in local communities who cannot afford anything. Right now, they are rearing small birds like chicken, like whatever, to at least, and then you realize that every time you go back, they will tell you that I bought a uniform for my child. I bought a good book. I've bought this. So we are observing the changes. It's what I can say. Later, if someone has a better way of measuring the impact, we shall also welcome it, and we can also take it on. We are flexible to work with everybody, and that is okay. And then with all the challenges, how are we handling the challenges?
Wait, before you move on to the next question, maybe Stella would like to join us and ask a question. Stella, can you hear us? Stella? Okay, till she join us. Please, yes, Tony, let's continue. You were saying about the challenges. Yeah.
You know, we started the Kugusa Moyo in the challenges. And we started the Kugusa Moyo to solve challenges. So I'm not going to say that we are used to challenges, but we have no option right now. We have to utilize the challenges that we have to get opportunities. So how do I do it? If I fail to raise money for donations, I'll speak to my friends. I'll speak to family members. I'll speak to companies that I meet. I'll speak to anyone. Even when they gave us 1,000 Ugandan shilling, which is almost a quarter of $1, we shall utilize it. We shall see how we really break down our budgets and do what we can do. You get it? And then another thing, we also have passion for the pupils and for the mothers. We shall adjust. We shall adjust the best things for our families. We shall adjust the best things that we can achieve. And then say, no, even when I need to go in a very inexpensive honeymoon or in a very expensive anniversary, let me adjust and then maybe support here. You get it? Because we...
Mm-hmm. I think maybe we lost Tony for a minute. Stella, maybe I would ask
Yes.
you till Tony join us. How do you impressed by Tony explanation about his work in the field as the head of the EAWANET member organization? How would you recommend us to look at Tony's work in the field?
Okay. Yeah, thank you, Eldad, and thank you, Tony, for enlightening us on your program interventions, organization program interventions. I think it's a good thing because the issue of children is also a protection issue. It's a protection issue, and it's good that the organization has taken it upon themselves to support the young people, considering the different challenges they are going through, especially at household level and other different structures, maybe schools, for example, because it talks about the care that some children are receiving there at home is not maybe has a human rights concern, and then also the fact that they are coming in to support those children, and also the idea of handling aspects to do with providing scholastic materials to boost their education, because normally protection issues, protection issues, a child may come, but then in the process of adoption, should be able to a child may come in maybe with in the process of a child coming, maybe I need some maybe scholastic materials provider, in this case maybe the implementer, develop a referral, an appropriate referral, and be developed after doing a mapping in the area. How many which service providers are there? Which service provider is able to provide health services? Which service provider is able to maybe provide psychosocial support like counseling? Sorry. Which service provider maybe is able to to attend to maybe a livelihood component. So by
Unfortunately, because lack of communication, we'll take the break here. Thank you very much, Tony, for your very inspiring words. Thank you, Kugusa Moyo International, for the great operation in the field. Stella and EAWANET members organization, amazing job and great support for all the organizations in the field. Thank you very much.